And your next Congresswoman, Kristen McDonald. And really our spectacular First Lady of the United States, Dr. Joe Biden. And of course, all of you, the mighty women for Harris. I know you know this, but we just have 8 days until Election Day. And I know we can win. And I know we will win. Because we have you. Okay, that's an applause line. Come on. Thank you. It is such a privilege to be in this fight with you. Ever since Tim joined the ticket, I have been traveling all over this country. You know that song, I've been everywhere now. In fact, this is my 5th visit to Michigan and my 2nd in just the last week. And everywhere I go, people are fed up with Donald Trump. But even more than that, they are fired up for a new way forward. For 9 long years, we've been suffering through that Trump show. Should have been canceled. Fired! Chaos, division, lying to our faces. And always making it about himself. Hasn't that just been exhausting? Yes. And it is abundantly clear that Trump and Vance are not fighting for us. They are fighting for themselves. And what they're offering with their Project 2025 agenda, no one is asking for it. Especially when it comes to our reproductive freedoms.
Yes.
Trump's agenda threatens fertility treatments. And this is personal. Tim and I were only able to start a family because we had access to fertility treatments. And it was hard, really hard. But it was so worth it. We cannot fathom anyone being denied the joys of parenthood. And here's the thing we have in common, Minnesota and Michigan. We do not take too kindly to bullies. Especially bullies who are telling us when, if, or how to start our families. That's right. Because when it comes to decisions about our own bodies and our own lives, it is our choice. Whose choice is it? Ours. Not J.D. Vance's. No. And heaven forbid, not Donald Trump's. I don't know about you, but I subscribe to hope, not hate. Right. So I am ready to just turn the page on those guys, right? Yes. And I am ready to turn the page to a new vision from Kamala, Tim, and Michigan Democrats. A future of freedom and safety and dignity and opportunity for everyone. That's the future we are fighting for, right? And it is up to us, all of us, every single one of us, to make it happen. And I know here in Michigan, you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. But we are here today to let you know that Kamala and Doug and Tim, and the President and the First Lady, and me too, we are right here with you. And so many Americans all across this country, they are too. Because what we know is we are all in this together. And this is how we win together. Now, I visited a field office next door in Wisconsin. We share neighbors, too. Right? And I met a woman who was 97 and a half years old. she's always there at that field office, and she is making calls non-stop every day. And you know what she told me? She said, "You have to help me." I said, "What?" She said, "They won't let me canvas anymore." I said, "I think it's pretty good that you're making calls. Thank you for that." And Michigan women could very well make the difference, right? We know that, and it is crunch time. Election day is just 8 days away, and early voting is open right now. So Bay City, if you haven't already, will you go vote?
Yes!
And will you get your friends to vote early?
Yes!
Okay. And will you keep bugging them until they do?
Yes!
I thought so. You know what Tim always says? You've probably heard him say it, maybe. He says, "We'll sleep when we're dead." Gwen, we'll sleep when we're dead. Okay, I am more moderate. I think we can take a nap after the election. But maybe not until then. Because a new way forward, it's within our grasp, within our reach. If we fight for it, maybe harder than we've ever fought before. But you know what Vice President Harris says? She says, when we fight,
we win!
Okay, Bay City, when we fight,
we win!
Michigan, when we fight,
we win!
Now, here's a real fighter among us, and it's First Lady Jill Biden. She's a fighter. But in a spectacular way, because she is a unifying force for our country. Championing causes that bring us together, like advocating for military spouses and families, lifting up community colleges and women's health research, working to end cancer as we know it, just to name a few. But what is so remarkable about her is despite the prestige of the office she holds, First Lady of the United States of America, she's still just Dr. B. The teacher who never misses her office hours. The friend who sends a handwritten thank you note. Can you imagine finding the time? And a thoughtful leader who brings ketchup to military bases when she hears they're running low. And she's been there for me too. Whether to offer advice, join one of my classes, or campaign like we get to do today, side by side, together. Her power as an educator extends far beyond the classroom. In fact, I think right here today in Michigan, let's decide to term her America's teacher. Yeah. And strength and kindness and leadership. So would you please join me in welcoming the First Lady of the United States of America, Jill Biden.
And she will be an outstanding Second Lady of the United States. So you and Tim are exactly the next generation of leadership our country needs. And you're going to have a a champion in Congress when we elect Kristen McDonald Ribbon. Very special for me to be on the trail with Gwen. And, are you the congressperson? Nice and biased pictures. So tell us your name, because we can't.
They know.
So Tim and Gwen are educators who see the possibility of a bright future for our students. And Gwen and I see that as moms. And I'm a grandma, and soon to be great-grandma. So the stakes in this election couldn't be more clear to me. Because ultimately, this election will have a will profoundly affect women. Our ability to make our own healthcare decisions, to buy homes and put food on our tables, and to live in a country where we celebrate that our differences are precious and our similarities are infinite. Character and temperament matter.
Yeah.
Over the last few years, I've gotten to know Kamala better, and this is clear. She is her mother's daughter. In that, apparently, Kamala's mother was a pretty tough mom. She had high expectations, which is a good thing, right, teachers?
Yes.
So when she was growing up, Kamala was maybe upset. When she was upset about something, her mother would turn it back on Kamala and say, "What did you do?" And that was the biggest lesson that Kamala's mother taught her. Within Kamala was the power to create change. It started with her. It's why Kamala Harris is the decisive, strong leader she is today. And Kamala has spent her career fighting on behalf of people and is without a doubt the leader we need right now. And as president, she's going to make life a little easier for our families all across our country, lowering costs on things like housing and groceries and prescriptions, strengthening Social Security and Medicare, protecting our freedom, like a woman's right to make our own decisions about our health care. Right now in America, Trump abortion bans are in effect in more than 20 states across the country. No one has to abandon their faith or their deeply held beliefs to agree that the government shouldn't be telling women what to do. President Harris will proudly sign a national law to restore reproductive freedom to every woman in every state in our country. Vice President Tim Walz. So I can tell you that Tim grew up in a small town of just 400 people, where neighbors looked out for one another. I'm sure it's just like here, regardless of where they came from or their political beliefs. He took those values with him as he served in the Army National Guard, as he became a public school teacher and coached high school football. He knows our country is at its best when we take care of each other.
Right.
As governor, Tim Walz has made sure that families get paid leave so workers don't have to choose between their paycheck or taking care of their loved one. And that's what it means to take care of your neighbors. Is going to come down to a handful of votes in battleground states like Michigan. We need you to knock on doors, sign up for volunteership, and make sure your friends and family have a plan to vote early. We only have 8 more days. Thank goodness, right? So, let's get to work and get out the vote for I want to take you into the future. Picture a few months from today. You wake up and you grab your morning coffee and you start to scroll through your favorite news feed. You read about bipartisan legislation to lower the cost of prescription drugs because Democrats and Republicans can come together to get reasonable things done for the American people.
I could just send them to you. Oh, all right, when we get done.
You're finally planning a vacation because the economy continues to grow. You flip on the morning news and they are reporting that Roe is once again the law of the land. It's been ages since you had to think about the MAGA extremism of hate, vulgarity, and chaos. And instead, you get a text from your daughter with a photo who is proud that she just bought her first home. This isn't a dream, it's a choice. All within our reach with your vote. We know what will happen if we don't make that choice. Because we've lived it. For just a moment, I know I took you to the future. Let me take you back a minute. Okay, so remember the morning in 2016 after the election? When we all woke up to find out that we had fallen short. Remember that feeling? Yes. Thinking if we had only had made more calls, if we only had knocked on more doors. We cannot let that happen again. Early voting is open now across Michigan. If you have an absentee ballot, return it today. And after you voted early, convince 10 more people to do the same thing. We have to work harder than we've ever worked before.
That's so true.
We have to push further than we've ever pushed before.
Yes.